key points before proffering the solution. Mr. Speaker said, as we progress as a country, we need to have developmental planning that is generational and not tied to one's political term of office. This proposition will further entrench what Zimbabwe has experienced over the years, where projects are prioritized for potentially to lure voters instead of their potential to change lives. Mr. Speaker, as I go to the second point, offices in charge of executing projects and not personalities should be encouraged. We should be at peace with coming to complete projects that were started by others and planning projects to be completed by others. There is nothing bad about it, Mr. Speaker said. This is how nations progress. Mr. Speaker said, as I transition to my third point, real nation building is not achieved in one term, and trying to achieve that in one term will simply keep Zimbabwe being fodder for respective politicians. Mr. Speaker said, half of the projects I planned for when I was working for ZESA from 2006 to 2008, to date they have not been implemented. If there was a politician who insisted to remain the Minister of Energy, you would still be there today on the premise that the project has not been implemented. The third point is there is no one with monopoly to a new great Zimbabwe. Yes. Change of character will not change the script. If our project execution matrix is right, whoever takes office will simply fit in and deliver. Mr. Speaker said, I had an experience 10 or so years back when I was doing projects in Zambia. I was pleasantly surprised as I went into Zambia. I saw the roads, I saw the malls, I saw the marvelous work they were doing. And I asked, what did Zambia do right? The project manager I was working with, Mr. Speaker said, was very crude and said, we stopped the nonsense of keeping a president who's not performing. The project manager was emphatic, Mr. Speaker said, to say even if the president who comes in has all his weaknesses, you bring one good strength. And if you have 6 presidents with different unique strengths, we have 6 different areas. Case in point, in Zimbabwe, Mr. Speaker said, when the former president Robert Mugabe was here, he took us to school. Zimbabwe is known for its schooling. Zimbabwe is known for its educational indexes. Mr. Speaker said, we should not be encouraging people staying beyond what is necessary in office if we want Zimbabwe. Mr. Speaker said, my first point, project planning and project management is the role of technocrats within municipal ministries and not politicians. Yes, those get permanent employment and not us politicians. Ours is merely to do groundbreaking and to cut the ribbon when the project is finished. The fifth point, Mr. Speaker said, ordinarily projects that in Zimbabwe we burden our head of state with groundbreaking and commissioning. Elsewhere in the world, for example in South Africa where I spent some bit of time, these are projects that are commissioned by councillors and mayors. Mr. Speaker said, I'm not sure if we have any project that is worthy forcing a person who has already served 2 terms to stay on to cut the ribbon. Mr. Speaker said, if we are serious about progression, Mr. Speaker said, allow people to progress, and naturally the term would end as a deadline. Mr. Speaker said, if this logic stood, then President Banana or even Prime Minister Mugabe should still be in office, because the power plants that we are doing currently were planned during the Smith regime, and some of them were planned in the early 80s. Mr. Speaker, allow me to transition to my 7th point. He's thinking whoever gets projects that ordinarily should have taken shorter to implement, as no two projects have the same duration. Number 8, the key reason for failure to complete projects is not elections. It is funding and allocation of projects to parties and people with no capacity to implement such projects. The Harare Bike Bridge Road has not been completed in 8 years, Mr. Speaker said. And adding 2 years will simply make it another 2 years to make it 10 years. Elama, the ninth point.
Order, you've got 3 minutes remaining.
The ninth point, Mr. Speaker. Elama time with the same leader, we as bias with a certain area will result in stunted growth. To no operators in a quash, Mr. Speaker. A typical example is in Zimbabwe. Currently, Harare has built a trabablas. Now we're going to Maputo for another trabablas when Chinhoyi needs water. Mr. Speaker said, bringing different characters brings different areas. Mr. Speaker, allow me to go to my solutions. I'll quickly go to the solutions without expanding. How do I propose we remedy this dilemma of continuity risk and the long-term project struggles? Number 1, consistency in policy budgeting and leadership. State projects should be state projects instead of party projects. Do away with the labeling of project presidential. Then dealing to make strong non-political institutions, tasked with project inception right through to commission. Number 3, who was the chief then of Mashonaland Central, the biggest chief for that matter before the whites came, and was removed because of politics, and was restricted to have mission to become a headman. I insist that chiefs are a no-go area. And whoever doubts this, let us go to the mountains. The parliament we sit on today used to belong to the Shumba Simboti clan, which is where I belong to. If anyone doubts, let's go to the mountains by Mazoe and see if we come back with the same resolution. I submit. Point of privilege, Mr. Speaker.